All right, this is a real one. I have a fear of success. I was thinking back, I was like, why did I botch that whole moment yesterday when it was like everything was coming together at the same time? And I realized that like my current buyer was calling me, the deal potentially for next month was calling me, my partner was calling me. So that's three facets of my real life business, that these are connections that I created, are all reaching in to me and be like, hey, look, let's boom. That would have been a perfect moment for growth to continue going down this good business path I built for myself. So then I realized, I thought about it this morning and I was like, you know what? Like, I was afraid. I was afraid to go on that listing appointment. That's why I messed it up. That is why I messed up the listing appointment. I'm like, wait a minute. Why am I afraid to go on this appointment? I mean, that's what I need. It'll change my life for the better. And then I stopped it. I was like, fear of success. It hit me, fear of success. Or it didn't, it hit me. I have to use a different phrase like that because hit sounds painful. It surfaced. Fear of success. That's the only reason why would you not go get some more money? You're afraid of success. Then I looked it up. Then I got on YouTube and looked it up, like fear of success, because I've seen this type of symptom in a lot of self-help studying that I've done, and so I came across a video by Dan Locke. And interesting side note, I met a couple of his. I guess they were contracted with him to do his marketing at one of Ty Lopez's events in Tennessee. So I was like, yeah, I heard about him through them. And so I was like watching one of his videos. He's like, yeah, fear of success. What it is you, if everything's going right and then you mess it up. And that's what I was like, yeah, everything was going right. And then I messed it up. And he's like basically saying that you get your back in the corner and then you work real hard to get out of it. And then that's how you get your sense of esteem, your self-worth, attention from other people. And I was like, yeah, I definitely did that. I definitely put myself back in a corner by not going on this listing appointment. So I was like, why am I doing this? And he says, what it is you're addicted to struggling. Because you've been struggling all your life. And that's where you have gotten your self-worth from. Of just struggling, feeling like it's hard. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's true. Like my mom has been struggling her whole life, making $25,000 a year. My dad has been struggling. Every time he goes and makes $5,000 to $10,000, then like the next time I hear him or see him, he's broke again, borrowing money. So I'm like, this business is an action adventure. The action part is the struggle of let me go into pass out these business cards of going to do battle with the prospects or going to search for the prospects, doing the door knocking, getting doors slammed in my face, getting all the rejection, the objections. That's the action. The adventure part is, hey, yeah, the dude wants to sell, sign here. We're gonna, take some nice pictures, stage it. People are gonna come by. They're gonna like it. Obviously, it's gonna sell really fast, probably in a week. Somebody else put an offer in, and we'll go back and forth a little bit, and then we'll all show up together at the closing table and sell it, and I'll get a big fat check for $15,000, or at least that's like the perspective right now. But really, in the back of my mind, also is the fact that my mom makes $25,000 a year. So $15,000 is like 6 months of her life. No, it's actually like, I don't know, like 8 months of her life, something like that. Whatever. So in spite of how much money I have, the amount of money I'm able to produce is substantially more. It's infant, like my goal is to be a billionaire. So it's going to be more than what anybody I know around me has ever done. So for me to have that fear of success that, oh, I'm doing more than they've ever done, or I'm not struggling like I've seen them struggle my entire life. It is a fear of like the unknown. It's a fear of the unknown because I don't know what's on the other side of consistently having money come in and not and me be the one like, oh yeah, like I'm making this all this money consistently and it just be easy in a way to where there are no struggles. It's not I'm not trying to struggle. I don't want to struggle and I'm not struggling. So that's the adventure part, which is the point of really getting into business. Yeah, you have the action part, but that's just the first scene, action. Then the next scene is the adventure of completing the project or completing the process. And that's why I sabotaged myself yesterday, because it was going right. It was the real adventure of, oh yeah, like my partner from doing the project management on, he's calling me, letting me know what the updates are, how we're getting closer to finishing that house. My buyer is saying, hey, look, I got to drop off this earnest money check to you so I can buy this house, buy this condo. This other guy is saying, yeah, I want to sell my house. That's like, it's so good. I, in some way, have lied to myself and told myself I don't deserve it. I should be struggling. I'm lying to myself by telling myself I deserve to be struggling, or I deserve to not be doing as good as I've been doing. Or even when it comes to getting this brokerage license. I've been saying I'm studying for my brokerage license, but that's not what I've been doing. What I've been doing is studying these other continuing education courses that are for free on through my agent website, agent portal, instead of actually studying for the brokerage license itself. And to be honest, I've done like 15, 20 of these classes. Like I've done so many of them that when I started till now, those classes have expired. And now there's a new set of classes which I can still, continue doing those and finishing those out. But the point is not to get the more education. That's like the action part. Like, oh, like as soon as I start this course and finish it, I'll know a little bit more than your average agent, something like that. But the point of getting the brokerage license is just to get the license. Like, yeah, I put the time in. I've had my license 5 years, over the span of 5 years, and I've been licensed for 3 out of those past 5 years. So why should I deny myself the good when I've worked very hard for it? I've worked very hard for it. And it also takes me back to this thing, like I met this other salesperson yesterday in the neighborhood that I've completed. I completed that full like 600 home neighborhood yesterday. This guy was selling pest control. Similar to my uncle, but he's around my same age, like 24, I think. I don't know. He's probably like 23 or 24, 25. And he's like, yeah, man, I heard door knocking, 4 months of door knocking is like a 4-year degree. That's what, that's the case. I was like, that's so funny because when I was living in California last year? Probably like, beginning of last year up till now, up until like May, what they were saying out there was, at the sales company, they were saying 2 years of door knocking is the equivalent of a 2-year degree in communications. So it's funny how like that ideology, that belief has made its way over to the East Coast, and it's it's changed form in some way, but it's still the same thing. Like I'm just I'm doing this door knocking. I didn't go to college, as a way to say like I didn't go to college, but I still have some type of this is my pride, this is my self-worth. And for me, I didn't go to college, I didn't finish college, but I don't find that, I don't find I like adhere to that. Oh, I have some sort of pride in the fact that I'm door knocking as opposed to getting a college degree. I'm like, man, the college degree thing is not a smart idea. At least at this point in my life, like if I had like already had a business running, like I said, I may go get one, or I said I would go to some college, but nah, like for the most part, I have way more skills than many people my age, but that's because I also study more than them, and I work harder than them. I do door knocking, I do cold calling, I go meet people. But the part, and that for a long time, that made me believe that, you know, I just have a fear of conflict. I have a fear of confronting people and things like that. But I don't. My mindset is starting to shift in that I don't think it's a fear of conflict. I think it's a fear of peace and lack of conflict, and just being normal, like just not having to struggle. Just like, oh yeah, I know I'm gonna just make this much money, or I know I'm gonna do this amount of work today, and then this is my just deserves. I get this $15,000 listing. Not everybody can be a real estate agent. Not everybody is a real estate agent. Not everybody makes it to 5 years as a real estate agent. And people damn sure don't door knock. So that's a very small group of people, class of people who are even doing what I'm doing and in the area that I'm doing it in. So I deserve what I work for. And I don't deserve to struggle. I deserve success. I deserve the treasures that come with success of stable income, peace of mind, access to more of life's good stuff. Like, for instance, that one's kind of vague, but like being able to buy parts for my car and fix it up. That's what I'm talking about. And just like I deserve that because I'm working hard for it. Like I'm working for it every day. Yeah, I pretty much work every single day in some shape or form. From I'm not studying, I'm passing out business cards or studying for my license or reading a book. I pretty much don't do any goofing off. I don't do none of that. And in many ways, I know I could get a college degree, but that fear of success stopped me from doing that. It stopped me from, okay, I was on Reading Bowl team in high school. So basically we read like 20 books and write questions and quiz ourselves and then swap those questions between the other schools and quiz each other on the content of the book. I had the perfect team when I was in my senior year. We could have won the whole state championship. But then I started like not performing. And so we didn't get as many questions right as we should have. And then we got second place and didn't go onto the state championship where we obviously would have won. Because we have the most competitive district. And so I was like, for the longest time, I was like, what's wrong with me? Like, why didn't I show up? I knew the answers to most of those questions. More times out of 10, I'm usually like the first person on, and I'm usually answering like 80% of the questions for the whole team and just for everybody there. So I'm like, what is that year? I was like, what's wrong? And so what was happening that year? That year I was thinking about if I was going to go to college. I was also having struggles training some of the people who were in the freshman class on drumline, and they were not wanting to be. They just didn't want to listen and work harder so that they could get better and be able to play their part, which was a very good part. So I was having struggle leading them. So I felt like a failure in that. There was in my band class, we had Three people who were on drumline who could have been the drum captain. It's me and two other people who played similar instruments to me. My band teacher, my band director, he wouldn't make a decision on who was the drum leader, who was the drum captain. So it created all of this kind of confusion about like who's actually in charge, or who's got the most self-control and the most discipline. And it like that also gave me a fear of failure. Like, oh, I guess I just didn't deserve to be it. Even though like if someone else would have got it, I could have just acknowledged it and put it to rest. Like, okay, he got it. I can focus. I can think about something else right now. So that was my band teacher's fault. But at the end of the point, the results are my fault. And then just seeing my mom and dad struggle and being like, this is normal. You know, they paid all their, seems like they paid all the, well, we got the lights cut off a couple times. Seems like they paid all their bills, and my mom is generally happy with her life. And my dad is like kind of like chronically up and down and up and down, chronically. And it just in a lot of ways, it just put that like, oh, you're supposed to be struggling. You're supposed to not know what comes next. You're supposed to have everything go right, then it fall apart. You're supposed to sabotage yourself at the end. I mean, that's happened in many of the businesses that I've had. I've picked people who ultimately would sabotage me. So I don't believe it's a fear of conflict that I have. I believe it's a fear of lack of conflict, which I hide behind. Oh, I'm afraid of conflict, so I got to go into more conflict to get rid of that fear. Because that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm saying to the outside world, I'm afraid of conflict. I don't want to fight. Pow, pow, pow. And then going into more conflict and getting into things that are conflicting. To say, oh, I got to get rid of my fear, so I gotta be fighting. When truly it's to say like, I don't gotta be fighting. I'm not afraid of conflict. What I am afraid of is just peace and having success. So now that I know what is happening with that, I'm gonna watch out for it, and I'm gonna change myself. I'm gonna free myself from this addiction to the struggle. You guys watching? If you like this video, like it. If you should subscribe to the channel. Share this video with your friends and your family, and tell me how it improves their life. Now to go and seek success.